Hello, I'm Aunty Austerity, and today I've been in Sheffield with a group of between 150 and 200 people outside Sheffield Magistrates Court, giving moral support to two freedom riders who were appearing there today since their arrest a couple of weeks ago on Sheffield railway station, in circumstances which suggest that people's right to peaceful protest may be under threat. Lots of people got on the microphone and addressed the crowd from a range of different backgrounds, and the speeches were marvellous. And I was very pleased to be invited to be one of the people to speak. So I explained that I turned out in my suffragette colours today because I could see similarities between the struggle for social justice of the suffragettes 100 years ago and the campaign of the Freedom Riders today. Because the suffragettes used some very inventive ways to campaign and demonstrate, and some of those actually challenged the law of the day. But when we look back now, who would ever deny that the suffragettes were making justified demands, as with the Freedom Riders, who were campaigning just to claim back something which until recently was theirs by right. Also, many suffragettes were treated very harshly on their demonstrations, suffering harassment and assault from opponents and from police. But their struggle did bring about change. And as well as gender equality over the last 100 years, we've seen improvements to a welfare system to care for the vulnerable and the needy, to improvements in workers' pay, pensions and conditions, and also in a national health service. But now we find ourselves in a situation where we're having to defend those gains which are being wrenched from us by this demolition government. And I explained today about my Time for Outrage sash which I was wearing. This echoes the title of a pamphlet by Stefan Hessel about an economic system which allows the very rich to continue to get richer while the less well off are squeezed into hardship. And I think it is time for outrage when a government makes slashes to the budgets of local authorities so that people who rely on local services suffer. And I think it's time for outrage when a group of people who stand up and say no to that suffer bullying and intimidation. And I think it's time for outrage when a 65-year-old protester is restrained painfully at length by 5 police officers. I'm Aunty Austerity, and I say let's use that outrage to build the campaign against all harmful cuts, and like the suffragettes, let's keep on campaigning until we win.